Today, I'll be talking about one of my favorite philosophers, Friedrich Nietzsche. He is very important in Western civilization and to modern thought. Basically, to wrap up his philosophy without going too much in depth is that there are masters and there are slaves. And masters are people who do what they want. It doesn't mean that you are you don't have to be in a position of power to be a master. You just simply do what you want without any guilt or anxiety behind the actions. And there are slaves, people who suffer what they must. This battle between these two is where he says the tension of civilization comes from. And in his mind, the moral side of this equation is not the masters, but the slaves. And the reason why is because the slave does not will what he wants to will. Instead, what he does is he points to a powerful person who does what they want and says they are immoral because they do whatever they want. The reason Nietzsche says that is immoral is because the slave does not have the fortitude necessary to do what they want. And I agree with him. If you're not doing what you will, then you're not living. Nietzsche had a great resistance against the Christian religion. And not for theology reasons. As a system, he had a problem with it. Because what it does is it takes the stronger parts of you and turns them inward. So your strength, your cruelty, all of those things, your weapons that you use against the external world, and it turns them into guilt. You feel guilty because you do the things you want. This is not the way to live according to Nietzsche. He's also credited with saying that God is dead and we have killed him. And he based this off of Copernicus's heliocentrism, which is the belief that, the fact rather, that the sun is the center of the galaxy, not the earth, which was previously thought before Copernicus. And he also had influence from Darwin's theory of evolution, although he disagreed with the will to survive as the basis for evolution. He stated that it was weak and that it was the will to power is what drove everything forward. And I agree with him on that. But I disagree with him on things such as eternal recurrence, which is the belief that this life may repeat exactly how it unfolded for eternity. I still believe that you should live as if this is your only life. So you should will what you want to will. But the idea that this is going to repeat over and over and over it's silly. His hammer, his philosophy, is a way to take idols and smash them. Such as, I'll give you an example. Buddhism. Buddhism teaches detachment, and reincarnation, and that there is no self, which I will agree partially with the no self. But the other two, the detachment and the reincarnation, you take the central basis of it, the detachment, and you point it at the ideas. You must be detached even from the idea of a reincarnation, because this may be the only chance you get. There may not be a second try. There may not be a third, fourth, fifth try. You also point detachment at itself, which is being detached from detachment. And eventually you get to this point of emptiness. You even point non-attachment at the Buddha, and you end up at this state of emptiness, but that is not where it ends. There's a Buddhist joke that goes like this. Buddha is standing on the other side of a river, and a man walks up to the opposite side of the river, and he yells across the river, "How do I get to the other side?" And Buddha looks at him and says, "You are on the other side." Buddhism is just a raft to get you to a point. Once you use the raft to get to the other side of the river, you have to let the raft go. And you get to this place of emptiness. But in that place of emptiness, your true self can act. Even Meister Eckhart said that, there is no separation between God and I. The same eyes that see God are the same eyes that God sees me with. And once you rid yourself of God and become empty, the true will of God can act through you. That's what they were both pointing at. Even Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And even he said that the Father and I are one. I don't believe he was saying that he was God, or the God, rather. I believe he was simply stating that I am God. I don't believe that God is a being in the sky. I don't believe he's a man with a long beard and a white robe. I believe that God is just a word we use for the laws of the universe and the total forces. The universe itself, everything that encompasses it. Islam says that you will submit to Allah. And they're right. You can fight the urge to breathe all you want to, but you will breathe or you will die. You could jump and say that you're overcoming gravity, but you will still hit the ground. This universe is something that you came out of, and everything before you is what led to this exact moment that you're in right now. Now, I'm not saying that life is deterministic. It has deterministic qualities. You do have free will, but you have free will in this moment, in the eternal now. Time only moves forward, never backward. And every time you do an action, every time you make a decision, every time you have a thought, you choke the possibilities in front of you. And you ride the rails of whatever that is. Once you let go of God, these ideas of anxiety, guilt, fear, they all leave you. And the reason they leave you is because there's nothing to feel guilty about. There's nothing to have anxiety about. There's nothing to fear. But then you say, when I get to this point of emptiness, then what's the point? And the point is just to live. And that's it. And this weighs heavy on people, to people that need comfort, that need rafts, that need a savior, that need forgiveness. But you don't need any of those things to be a quote unquote moral person or be a great person. You just being you is doing what you can do. That's not to say that life isn't effort, because it is effort, because life has suffering due to the laws of entropy. Everything's constantly in a state of decay. Everything is constantly pressing on you. Everything is constantly wanting to move forward. It's not going to stop for you. But through all this suffering, your job is to affirm what you are through the suffering. Step into your power. Even if that means just baking. If you're a baker, bake with all your heart. If you're a thief, be the best thief you can be. Because no matter what, this is just your life. And we all want some sort of great secret, and there is no great secret. There are things that are quote unquote good, but they're only good because they perpetuate civilization and this constant manufacturing of tools that mankind seems to be obsessed with. Even religion is a tool. It's just a tool to explain everything around us, everything that's going on, and how to navigate all that. And if your tools work for you, awesome. I'm not sitting here saying that you need to agree with me totally. I'm just offering a thought. I understand that it's Easter and that some of the things that I'm saying may upset some people, and that's fine. But I refuse to feel guilty about things that are inherent about me. I don't seek to do evil. I don't seek to harm others. I am simply stone when I need to be stone, and I am simply fire when I need to be fire. Meaning that when I need to endure something, I endure it. When I need to protect something, I protect it. When I need to burn something, however, I burn it. When I need to warm something, I warm it. Nietzsche spoke of the Übermensch, the higher man. And he said that his philosophy was not a complete philosophy, but a prelude to philosophy that'll come later. Be the Übermensch. Be the higher man. Step into your power. Become what you can become, not for a higher purpose, not because it's what you should do. Do it because that's what you want to do. If something gives you joy, let it give you joy. And don't feel guilty about it giving you joy. That's all I've got for today, y'all. Have a good day.